Welcome in to Training Camp Live, presented by American Airlines, alongside Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Youmans. It is day number 2 of joint practices here from Costa Mesa, California, between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers. We're going to step aside here. We've got some 7-on-7 yesterday in Training Camp Live. If you missed it, there are 4 episodes up on DallasCowboys.com where you have the offense for the Cowboys going up against the Chargers defense. Today, we flipped some things around, Isaiah.
All right, yeah, we're taking a look here at what this Dallas Cowboys defense looks like against this high-powered Chargers offense.
And right now they've got the 2s in. One's just ran a play behind us. Defenses look pretty good so far, and you're looking at some of these linebackers at the second level. I mean, Jabril Cox, Anthony Barr getting his first teamwork that he's had in the Cowboys uniform this week. And so a couple different things to look forward to. What are you trying to keep an eye on?
I want to see how these guys can move in space. These guys, the Chargers have a lot of really good backs that come out of the backfield and do a lot of receiving. So it's a good opportunity to see how Jabril Cox has recovered in terms of his knee. Can he cover the Ecklers and the Spillers out of the backfield? Also, Anthony Barr, how in shape is he? Is he ready to step into the fold? So these are all really good reps.
Easton Stick is the quarterback, back in the shotgun, and the running back is Larry Roundtree III. He looks to his right and completes that easily. It was Marquise Bell that was in coverage. And quick 7-on-7, of course, you're just touching up, no tackling, no bringing to the ground. And it was a defensive dominant day yesterday. You got to practice a little bit right after team drill started. You got the chance to kind of see some of these guys. What have you seen from the defense that they can maybe continue some of that dominance against guys like Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler and so on and so forth?
Well, from the things that we've seen today so far, it looks like these guys are doing a good job of just covering and being where they need to be in their coverages and their responsibilities. You're seeing Herbert and Chase Daniels. Those guys are starting to do a lot of checkdowns from what we've seen just in the 7-on-7 drills. As you mentioned, the guys are just tagging off, but it's also a good thing when these checkdowns do occur. What do the fits look like? What kind of chemistry do these guys have? Are they inside, outside? Are they making sure that they're on the right hip? Are they using the field as leverage? All these kind of things that help when it comes down to actually start to take guys to the ground.
Got 2 linebackers out there at the moment with Micah Parsons and Leighton Vander. Esch. There's Justin Herbert rolling out, throwing deep, almost picked off, and it bounces out of the hand of DaRon Bland. He was in the vicinity. He had a great coverage the whole time on Mike Williams, just couldn't bring the ball down.
He's doing a great job. He's had a great camp. Obviously, here he is going against some of the best guys in the league. Mike Williams is no slouch by any means, and there he was staying in his hip pocket the whole time. Justin Herbert threw the ball a little bit underneath. He went up there and almost made him pay for it.
Back to the ones. DaRon Bland checks out, and they go to Austin Eckler on the ground. Looked like he might have been touched up by Osa Digizua, right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this is what we want to see. We want to see these guys on the line of scrimmage being able to get their fits, hold their ground, and not get washed and get carried away in this zone running scheme. It's very easy to just kind of follow the flow of traffic. You want to see these linebackers, especially at the second level, hold their ground, and these linemen really not allow these linemen to work up to the second level.
Keenan Allen in the formation at the moment. He's just off to the side of the line of scrimmage. He's covered by Anthony Brown. Remember, Jordan Lewis suffered a hamstring injury yesterday in practice, so staying in the slot, you're going to see AB kind of fill into that hole over the next couple of days of practice. Quick completion to Eckler, and looked like Micah Parsons was the first one there to wrap him up.
11 versus good old 30. That's a heck of a matchup to have in the open field.
Yeah, what a nice little matchup. You would like to be able to see him take him to the ground and really go full force there. Probably neither one of those guys not playing on Saturday.
They're definitely not going to be playing on Saturday, so it's good to see them get some practice reps. But those are 2 strong human beings.
No doubt.
He's a strong cat in the weight room as well.
Herbert with the audible at the line of scrimmage. First team defense still out there for the Cowboys. Dorrance Armstrong in the formation. Trayvon Diggs, Anthony Brown out in coverage. That one inside to Williams, covered by Brown. And the catch is made, but not just for a modest gain.
Sitting on his hip pocket. You're seeing these guys try to work their quick game now. And, you have to be very careful as a defensive back not to get too excited, not to get a little heavy on your inside leverage when you start seeing these quick routes, because that's when you start getting the double moves. So you'll take those completions from time to time as long as you keep it underneath and make sure that you get sure tackles.
So looking for now the second team. Chase Daniels in at quarterback for L.A. Quick handoff behind the line of scrimmage to Roundtree III, and he moves forward.
Luke Gifford's been getting some pretty good action here, and what we've seen so far today. He's coming up and getting really good fits. I know a lot of times, when you don't see these guys with the capabilities to take them to the ground in a practice setting, you're looking for those technique, sound type executions. Okay, is he dropping his hips? Is he coming up? Is he hitting on contact? Is his head placement on the right side? Is he wrapping his arms around? All these things that play a huge role when it comes time to actually having live bullets in the game.
When you're looking at Luke Gifford overall, I mean, he's one of those players that he's unsung. He's not necessarily at the top of the list in terms of guys you're keeping an eye on. But, I mean, he's going into year number 4, coming off of a career high in tackles for loss, and really games played with 16 a year ago. What are the expectations for Gifford this year, and how much could he really play an impact?
Gifford just has to continue to show consistency and dependability in terms of the defense. He's a pillar on special teams. There's no question mark if he has a position there. It's just a matter of him continuing to show that, we saw him early on in OTAs. He was working his way up the depth chart seemingly with a great opportunity, with Jabril Cox coming off an injury, and really just kind of not having the depth there that they wanted. And then all of a sudden, here comes Anthony Barr. So, he just has to continue to show that he's dependable there.
My gosh, Gerald Everett, the tight end, worked his way open. He looked like he was wide open in the field, would have gone for a massive game, still did. It was at least a first down, maybe 20 yards. It's kind of tough to tell from this angle, but Micah Parsons chased him down from behind really with ease.
He closed that gap. This dude is so explosive. He's so quick. The space that you think that you have, Gerald Everett's been around for a while. You get him on the sideline off a nice little screen play. You think that you have some good yardage, and then here comes doggone the Tonka truck number 11 closing that gap and taking away that opportunity.
Hand off to the right side, nowhere going. Nice job stacked up that time. It's interesting getting to see a couple of these guys in the formation, and most notably Anthony Barr getting his first opportunities in number 51 in the white. He was in on that last play. He'll be in on the second play with the first-team defense.
And these are important rests for him. He's been out for a while, so getting these live rounds in terms of practice is important for him to be able to check those boxes to see if his foundation is actually still intact.
This is a very intriguing receiving core as well. A revamped offensive line. Rashawn Slater on the left tackle spot, going up against guys like Dorrance Armstrong and DeMarcus Lawrence. But the wide receivers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams out there as well, testing Anthony Brown and Trayvon Diggs respectively. There's Herbert over the middle. That one complete underneath. Joshua Palmer worked his way open, the slot receiver out in front of that Dallas secondary, and he has a first down grab.
Kelvin Joseph didn't look too happy about that one. I think he gave him a little bit too much space. I believe that the Dallas Cowboys are actually bringing their pressure. They had their rushing group in there in terms of Basham, D-Law, and Dante Fowler. Some of those guys in there trying to add some pressure on Herbert.
Let's talk about Kelvin Joseph. He's going up against Keenan Allen at the moment now, and we're going to see this next rep from Justin Herbert at quarterback. 3-step drop. Herbert over the middle, fits it to Keenan Allen. But, again, Kelvin Joseph with Jordan Lewis unavailable for at least the next couple of days. This is really his opportunity to show that he needs to be on the roster as the third or the fourth option at cornerback.
These are important reps for him, and not only for him, but guys like Nashawn Wright, DaRon Bland. Obviously, he's a draft pick, so he pretty much has a spot on the roster. But, when you think about a second-round draft pick from last year, if you haven't made any big splashes to date on defense or special teams, there's a question mark over you. So this preseason is very important.
Handoff straight up to shoot. Larry Roundtree the third again. Or excuse me, that was Isaiah Spiller. Rookie out of Texas A&M, getting opportunity in team drills. Really liked him in the draft this season. I mean, what a career he had down in College Station. Over 3,500 yards and 53 touchdowns in high school. Then he goes on to college, and he ranked 5th in the SEC in rushing yards this last year.
So you're saying he's okay?
He's pretty good.
All right.
Pretty good. Back to Easton Stick at quarterback. Looked like somebody might have moved there. No flag, though. Rush off the edge. Marquise Bell got in there on the safety blitz. Sam Williams was there, too. A pair of rookies bookending for a nice pass rush.
And who broke up the pass?
Who was it?
DaRon Bland.
There you go. 3 rookies. So a trio of rookies on the back end, really doing a nice job up against that third team. Expect more of that when we get into Saturday. This youth from the Cowboys is starting to look more and more confident as training camp goes along.
This defense is it continues to show that the tides have turned in terms of the Dallas Cowboys organization. This has become more of a defensive-oriented team with some really good guys still on offense. But
Sure.
I think that defense is really starting to take the character of this team.
Based off of last year, I don't think anybody would be surprised to see the defense take that next step. But what would that next step look like for Dan Quinn? I mean, this is the first time since 2018 the Cowboys have not had a change at defensive coordinator throughout an offseason. I mean, there's some continuity and some talent scattered on that side of the football.
For sure, he has a amazing lineup of guys that there's a scouting department. Obviously Jerry Jones and everybody else, Will McClay, who makes decisions on who goes on this roster. They've done a great job of creating an environment full of competition. And when you do that, now all of a sudden you have guys that are giving it their absolute all every opportunity that they have. And when you start looking at them becoming the calling card of this team, that's a lot of responsibility, and they take pride in that.
So let's wrap up this one for Training Camp Live. Looks like we're heading into a little bit of a break here, and we got a chance to look at the defense. We'll see more of it coming up later. This is just one of 4 Training Camp Lives throughout the day. For Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Youmans. Be sure to keep up to date with everything on DallasCowboys.com.